Preston City Council on Monday, July 28th, 2025. Call the meeting to order, and please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call?
Matt Peterson?
Yes.
Lisa Buddy?
Yes.
Dylan Meyer?
Yes.
Adam Ryder?
Yes. Number 4, approval of the agenda. Are there any questions or comments on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
And second,
I'll make a second.
and roll call?
Dylan Meyer?
Yes.
Lisa Buddy?
Yes.
Matt Peterson?
Yes.
Adam Ryder?
Yes. All right, number 5, citizen and public comment. I don't see anybody here, so we'll skip over that. Number 6, the consent agenda. Any questions or comments on that?
Todd, or Chad, we've got down Class B liquor license for Arctic Drug and same for Ollie's. Any reasons not to?
No.
The only thing I want to add to Ollie's is that we had approved their liquor license. They were trying for one to sell hard liquor as well, but they didn't have all the right documentations according to alcohol beverage. So now we have to reapprove the original, going back to just the retail stuff, not the extra.
Okay.
So it seems like we just approved it because we did,
Yeah.
but then it came to find out they didn't have all the documents they needed, so they went back to the old style of license. So
Okay.
they're just back to the regular retail.
Makes sense.
That's why I put the LG behind there. It stands for general alcohol sales instead of something else that we approved the last time.
Okay.
So,
All right, any other comments on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
And second,
Second?
and roll call?
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Lisa Buddy?
Yes.
Dylan Meyer?
Yep.
Matt Peterson?
Yes.
Thank you, Adam. Okay, number 7, discuss and consider approval of the first reading of ordinance 2025-01, heading Title 3, Community Protection, Chapter 22, Property Maintenance to the Code of Ordinances of the City of Preston. So this is pertaining back to that meeting that we had with the nuisance committee and Terry. This was something he encouraged us to kind of look into, and since we didn't have it, get it adopted as kind of a guide to use moving forward with this.
Our city attorney drafted the ordinance and implemented all the amendments to the ordinance. And so it's all, was reviewed by both myself and Terry, and all were in agreement that it was where it should be to get it adopted. And it's adopted by reference, so the Chapter 3, or Title 3, Chapter 22 will be referenced to this code anytime it's needed.
And then are we gonna do the 3 readings of this?
Yeah, this will be the first reading, so if you'd like to officially read the highlighted part of it.
Okay. 322-1, purpose and scope. The purpose of this chapter is to ensure that properties within the city of Preston are maintained in such conditions as to protect and promote the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the city of Preston and the public at large. Scope, this chapter shall apply to all property within the city of Preston regardless of classification or use. 3-22-2, code adopted except as hereinafter added to, deleted, modified, or amended, the City of Preston hereby adopts as the Property Maintenance Code of the City of Preston, Iowa, the 2021 edition of the International Property Maintenance Code, or the most current edition as prepared and edited by International Code Council, regulating and governing the conditions and maintenance of all property, buildings, and structures in the City of Preston. And then finally, 3-22-3, amendments to code, chapters 1 through 7. A complete copy of the ordinance and IPMC is available to you at City Hall. Do I need a motion on that?
Yes.
Okay.
To approve the first reading.
Okay.
I think this is something too that, we talked, that this, a lot of communities have adopted this code, and it's the first step to be able to do anything, so. Not new by any means for cities to adopt this and move forward.
No, and it's not just the bigger cities that have this either, that have their own building inspectors and mechanical inspectors and stuff like that for construction projects. Yeah, smaller cities are adopting this.
Use Oxford Junction as
As
a.
he mentioned,
Yeah,
6 or 8 different small towns, some smaller than even Preston, so.
for sure.
Yeah.
This code just covers everything.
But,
Yeah, basically, yeah. Any questions on anything?
And that we were following the standards, not something that the city of Preston made up.
Right.
This is
Right.
a standard out there.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2025-01.
Second,
Second.
and roll call please.
Matt Peterson,
Yes.
Bill Meyer,
Yep.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
Lisa Buddy.
Yes.
Okay, number 8, review of draft contract with Godert Inspection Services. So again, when we met with Terry, this is something we kind of discussed a little bit, and I think for the most part, it's kind of an as-needed contract, an hourly rate, but again, it just kind of our lawyers looked at it and
Yeah,
kind of
and
gave us
City attorney did draft the contract agreement. Terry sent me a draft one. I sent it on to the city attorney where he reviewed it. This is one that he recommended because Terry uses it along with another city that I think it was Tipton. So, we just went through it pretty much chapter by chapter, paragraph by paragraph, and Terry and I, and there was just a couple small things, but he said, yeah, this works. I've had this one, used this one in the past, so since it was from the attorney, he's familiar with it, I just thought it would be good to have him review and get his recommendations.
And then also on that note, Terry has worked with our law firm, several times in the past, and knows the lawyers and attorneys at that location, so.
That way they're both on the same page with the
Yeah.
contract and,
yeah.
code and everything, so.
Yep.
In case it ever go litigation, they both know what's going on.
Okay, anybody have any questions or comments?
We won't approve, actually approving this one, I
Oh,
just wanted
okay.
to review this
Oh, it's just a review.
tonight, because we have to have our 3 readings and adopt it
Okay.
first.
Yep.
So we should be able to approve this at the next meeting. I
Okay.
just wanted you to review it and let you know where it came from.
Okay, let's jump down to 9 then. Discussion and consider approval of electric utility for 125 Northwest Street.
One thing on that, we do have, there is an easement on the north side of that property. 10-foot easement. So PUE, public utility easement, easement line is the straight line and 2 dots. There's a 10-foot easement on the top of that.
Okay.
So we could go down, access is one of our biggest concerns.
Right.
Having access to it. So that does I still think, you know, we run to the street, that's where our desired location is, but in Terry, you know, Chad, you know, we can meet with Chad.
Right.
You know, Chad agreed to pay the cost and get it down farther, but that might open our eyes a little bit more.
Yeah, gives us a little bit of flexibility.
Gives us a little flexibility that we can get to the transformer again, because one concern is the transformer's big enough to power more than what Ellis has, so even with growth. So anything, if there's growth to the north, instead of having to put another transformer in or run farther north, you know, we utilize the transformer we already have, that we don't wanna landlock ourselves, so to speak. You know, this way we wouldn't necessarily landlock ourselves either, so, we have some options, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we want to, do we want to do anything, I mean, I know that we know how we're gonna get it there, we're gonna trench it, you know, bore the street, but do we wanna lock anything in as a vote until we actually meet with Ellis?
I guess,
I just put the consider approval in case we had a chance to meet with him prior to the meeting and, could come to a full decision, but since that hasn't actually happened, it's still, we don't have to approve it tonight, you guys can decide if you wanna
Yeah, I think
discuss it more and.
we move forward with the plan as we have it, I just don't want, do we wanna be able to be open yet? You know, if we lock it in, then I don't see it changing, but.
right. I guess, and just to bring everybody up to speed too, the electric committee, myself and electric committee met with Cheryl and Ray, was it last week?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and we kind of decided, we had the four options there, and I think everybody was kind of in agreement that option 3 would be the best course of action there to get that power from over by Jesse Kilberg's building, along that strip there between us and Kuhnau's, and then to, where Matt was saying, we were thinking we're gonna put the transformer right now. That could all change too, depending on our meeting.
Yeah, I mean, the city, that's how far we'll take it.
Right.
You know, any farther than that, then that's up to him, you know, and we had discussions of different ways we could, you know, if he does build on it, there could be some reimbursement back, you know, that those conversations could be had, but we need to have meet with Chad and talk about that, so, you know, we talked about, you know, plowing it makes the best financial decision, then bore it underneath the road, and not have to tear the road up anymore, and, we're gonna go with the, 3 lines, instead of 1 line. Guys would be able to pull it ourselves and stuff at that point too, so financially it's the best decision, you know, to do it. It's less intrusive than trenching it, you know, like that, so. We got a good plan to get it, on the west side of West Street.
Right.
And then it's just meeting with Chad, you know, and now we've got it here, you know, what are you know, how can we work together to get it where you want it?
Right.
But I think, you know, before we, you know, to approve, and then there's no point in ordering supplies and stuff yet until if we're gonna go all the way, you wanna do it all in one run.
Right. Right. And yeah, like I said, I don't think things are gonna change drastically, no matter what option we choose, you know, or however that meeting goes with Chad.
Exactly. How he wants to get it, so we can do all that in one vote, you know, here's how it's gonna be, and this is what Chad's gonna contribute to get it to where he wants to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, I'm fine with, we wanna hold off until we meet with Chad. But at least kind of gives everybody else kind of an update on where we're sitting with that, and.
I told the other 2 today, or when we got here, that Chad did email, and he's willing to do a meeting. He said tomorrow would work, but he was hoping to have it sometime during the working day.
Sure.
But with everybody working till 4:30, 5 o'clock, it's next to impossible. So I don't know,
Right now.
if we can figure out how to do a Zoom, it would still have to be like at the earliest 5, wouldn't you say?
I mean, yeah, I could probably do a little bit earlier than that.
Unless we wanna do a
We're just doing that.
Saturday or something.
Yeah. I mean, I could always do a Friday, but I don't know what everybody else's schedules so that kinda brings everybody up to speed on that and kinda how we're sitting, and hopefully, yeah, we can get a meeting, with Chad here very soon and keep moving ahead with that thing, so.
So as a city, we have a plan to get it
Right.
to the west side and the easement, so we're ready on our end, just finalizing the chat.
Right, correct. Yep. Okay, so let's table that then until hopefully next meeting, and then we can approve that. That's not gonna hold us up though, is it, if we don't approve it? Like, say we meet with him this week?
No? Good question, I guess.
That's my only concern. Does that hold Ray up with ordering anything?
Probably.
Well, do we need full approval? I mean, council's gonna kind of go by the electric
Yeah.
committee's recommendations. If you guys can approve that whatever you guys feel is the best, cause they've done all the research,
Yeah.
I'm good with approving, moving forward at electric committee's recommendation as soon as meeting happens or however you wanna put it.
Yeah, say if the meeting happens this week, then.
Yeah, I just want a little flexibility if something slight change, anything drastic, obviously, you would come back. But
Right.
It was just a slight change that we had to make an adjustment, you know, that's why I didn't wanna lock ourselves in.
Right. Yeah, I just don't wanna hold up Ray for, if we meet this week, hold him up for a whole nother week on having, being able to order something.
I agree.
I'll make a motion to, approve the electric utility for 125 Northwest Street at the electric committee's discretion.
That sound good? You sure? Okay. Works for me.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call please.
Bill Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Buddy,
Yes.
Matt Peterson,
Yes.
Adam Wright.
Yes. Okay. Number 10, approval of professional service agreement, SEH for providing cost estimates, for the grid resilience grant. Cheryl, I'll let you touch on this one.
Okay. Well, when we first went out for, qualifications, request for proposals for, engineering, SEH was the only one came by, and they gave us a figure of $19,200 to do the full preliminary engineering report. We were advised by Amanda to wait and hold off on the full report, cause that's not what's needed for the, grant application. But we do need budget numbers for the grant application. And in order for them, SEH, since they are going to do the contracting or the engineering, in order for them to get us those budget numbers, he laid out an agreement. It would cost us $9,400 for him to prepare everything Amanda needs for the budget for the, grant. I talked back and forth with Amanda, she felt that there's time to get those, between the SEH and Amanda, they feel that they can get a solid idea based on cost averages, estimates of what he's done in the past by measurements and whatever. So, it would cost $9,400, whether or not we get the grant, we knew there was gonna be engineering costs up front. That's all in the budget for this year, in hopes we do get the grant, cause we're gonna have that match anyway. But even if we don't get the grant, there are needs that Ray's gonna need, like especially the step down transformer and things. So that service is gonna be needed anyway. The pre-engineering for those kinds of things is going to be a need in the future, regardless if we get the grant or not, so. I guess I just need you guys to approve whether we do it now, do we hold off, not worry about applying for the grant. Lisa, you might wanna pipe in with your experience with Macokota.
Yeah, we got the grant from Macokota, and from what I kind of understand, that they're trying to get people to apply for the grant. They don't have enough people to applying, or they want more of the funds. And I was asking Cheryl before, like I said, if we're gonna do this project, how far down the road we would do it if we didn't get the grant. And if we're gonna do it, we might as well try to get the grant and see if we can prove and get the cost. Is it 75%, right? Match?
70-30.
730.
I mean, if we're gonna spend the money at some point, if we got the budget, might as well try to do it now and try to get some of it reimbursed.
And that makes sense, because the step down transformer, we've been talking about, I've been on the council for 10 years, been talking about it day one when I came on, and all that. You know, if it goes down, we're down. And generating doesn't help.
And he wants the tap changer things upgraded, so he doesn't have to run back and forth with generating, and it just, those are things that are needed, and it's been put off for so long, like we said, we're gonna do them regardless, so.
It's a lot of money, I think we need, but I think we need to tell ourselves that if we're gonna, you know, 'cause I don't know how long, you know, something like this will last, how long it's good, so I mean, if we don't get the grant, I still think we need to move forward, take advantage of the $9,400 we're spending on engineering, because we don't wanna lose that, and then in
Yeah.
After
10 years,
Yeah,
wanna
we do it again.
Right.
redo it again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, we just need to commit to it.
We need to commit to it, parts of, at least like the step down.
Right.
I mean, obviously not the whole, we
Yeah.
can't afford to do it
No.
all, but we need to
Right.
commit to some of it for the engineering cost. And I think we need to commit.
Yeah, it's overdue. Yeah, we can't afford it.
I think on that too, you know, so maybe this helps with some of that cost too, like that 30%. Help me if I'm wrong, Cheryl, you know, we had the 10-year contract to generate. You know, we get paid to be on standby, and we get paid more if we actually generate. What did we talk about, how many years were left on that contract? It was a 10-year, 3 or 4?
I was gonna say 3.
Yeah, so it gotta be somewhere in there, 'cause we started that a long time ago. So in my mind, you know, there's 3 or 4 years left on that, and then things will pretty much be paid off, right? Won't that pay for the new generator and everything? That kinda helps cover those costs in a
And so,
nutshell.
yeah.
Yeah, kinda, you know, it was, by having that contract, it helps pay for everything we did in 10 to 12 years. Don't
Right.
quote me.
Because we get an average of close to 10 grand a month off our utilities for being able to generate.
Yeah.
So over that year, yeah, whatever the generator costs.
So, you know, to me, if we, you know, the contract's over, we renew our contract, that money can help pay for these kind of upgrades, because we'll have our
Yeah.
new generator and stuff paid for at that point.
Yeah, right.
Money we save on our utility bill will in turn pay for that.
Yes. Yeah. So we can have an income to help pay for electrical upgrades. Besides, you know, just taxes and utilities.
Yep.
WPPI to be on standby.
Yeah, they credit our power bill.
Is that how they do it?
Yeah, we don't see money.
You don't see money
We don't
exchanged.
see like a deposit, but it's a credit.
Yeah, but anyway, that money's there.
Yeah.
So,
It's some money we're not spending, but.
Right.
correct. So I see that being able to help for upgrades in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue, we might as well, it's kind of not smart to turn down money if they're looking to give it away, right? If it's-
Especially if they're looking for applicants.
Yeah, if it's not a real competitive grant,
So that makes it sound like our chances are better than worse, right?
Yes, I understand this is like the second time it's been open,
Yeah, I don't know
or
if they
maybe
worded
the
it.
third time it's been open.
and are we coming up on the deadline that it needs to be submitted?
Yes, like absolutely,
We need to know.
it's kind of
Yeah.
built in. And he's gonna do this all without a site visit, which would've, if we knew up front that she needed all these budget numbers, you know, and the communication was kind of, she left us saying, well, I didn't know how she was gonna get the budget numbers, but she didn't really say, well, we're gonna need them, or we just started it probably a month sooner. But, they still think they can make it work, and get the grant submitted at least by the deadline.
So it'll be the 9,400 up front, and then get submitted, and just see where we go from there. Okay.
So if we do get the award, when would we find out on that?
I can't remember exactly when it's issued, maybe January?
Yeah. It's always like
December, January, it takes a while.
Alright, I'll make a motion to approve the professional service agreement to SE Resilience Grant.
Second?
Second. And roll call, please.
Lisa Buddy,
Yes.
Matt Peterson,
Yes.
Bill Meyer,
Yes.
Adam Fair.
Yes. Okay, number 11, discuss and consider approval of quitclaim deed for 32 East Gillette Street.
I was contacted by the county's, assessor's office, and this was brought up when the sale happened at that property. Let me just bring it up here. There was a warranty deed hanging out there probably from years past, and that house is sold at maybe at least once or twice. But it says that, there's an exception to the warranty deed that's out there. It says, accept the westerly 6 feet of lot 13, which I had the guys go ahead. I'll show you the map where those, I mean, I had it in your packet, but I, whoops. All right. Bigger so you can see it. Lot 13 and 14 was combined, and then is now the Heal property that was just sold.
Where's this at? Oh, okay, okay.
So as you can see, it used to be lot 13 and 14 that is now combined. They're saying that this warranty deed has it that the westerly, which would be the left-hand side, the westerly 6 feet of lot 13 belongs to the city, which it may, probably did at one time before the new street was put in, but the dots marked in red from Peppermint Park across the street down towards an angle, and the manhole is right behind the camper that's parked here. So if you follow that line, and then the stormwater goes all the way down to past Fellers and into the creek. So they verified that, no, we don't have stormwater going through lot 13 at all, going through that property at all. So the county is asking if we would consider a quitclaim deed on that to just clean up that parcel that doesn't have that holding standing out there for no reason.
There's no utilities or anything besides, there's storm sewer, no, but no utilities whatsoever.
No, the rest of the utilities would be coming from the front or, yeah. So there's no really easement down that center. Or
So
nothing.
there used to be a separate house on 13 back in the day?
Yes.
It's like an old brick garage there.
Yeah.
Across the street, yeah. That's just my concern, that there's nothing buried there that, you know.
Yeah. They're just wanting, because it was there for drainage before.
Have we done a one call out to make sure they're like with the telephone company, everybody, to make sure there's nothing there? And that's 6 feet?
We have not.
I think we should just do that to make sure that nobody does have anything buried, you know, that there's
Okay.
not. Just to, just say 100% sure there's nothing
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
That seems reasonable.
We just did for their, when they put their dish in, one call.
There was a one call for
On
the
the
property?
house,
Oh.
the house, but not.
I don't know how much was marked when that one call came through. But,
Yeah. That's one thing I'm just trying to, just to verify 100% that there's nothing. I'm sure there's probably not, but.
Well, we probably wouldn't, I don't know if we get in trouble with 811 if we do a one call and not really needing to dig, but we could contact the telephone company and everybody. I'll see what Eric says.
Yeah, why couldn't you call it 101?
Well, it's,
Because we're not really digging.
we're not digging anything.
Oh,
It's a digging, call before you dig, 811.
yeah,
Yeah, we can just verify,
yeah.
see what Eric says.
I think that'd be good to verify.
Okay. And I haven't heard back from Lynch Dallas on, him completing
sale or anything.
Nope,
Right.
nope, that's just something
Yeah,
they
that
just
would be
wanted to,
fine.
the
Yeah.
county wanted to clean it up, it's just.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It hangs out there
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do that, and then we can put it back on for
Okay.
the next meeting, and then hopefully, yeah, move forward. Yeah, if we're not holding anybody up on that, then I guess it's nothing major.
This is just a picture that they took, that's, the stormwater runs behind this is, Total Comfort over here, and then it runs all the way down the, so, yeah. Okay.
All right, okay, so let's table that then, and then for the next meeting, and let's jump down to 12, discuss and consider approving, selling the Digger Derrick. So this has been something we've kind of been, tabling as well. I guess, Matt, I don't know if you wanna speak on it, you kinda talked to the guys about this not too long ago.
Yeah, we met, and Cheryl and Ray and I, was it just three of us or somebody else that
I
day?
think it was just 3 of us.
You know, I'm trying to remember, that's been a while ago. You know, the skid loader, stuff like that, well, we can't really dig. The Digger Derrick, you know, obviously will hold a pole and, you know, auger the hole for it. Skid loader, you can't get, we'll do holes, what up to, help me out, Dylan, 6 feet probably,
Yeah.
depending on, you know, how high your reach is. So
Yeah.
it won't replace that opportunity to do a hole, which we usually have somebody come in and do that anyway, you know.
You can probably do an 8 or 10 foot pole, I would think,
Yeah.
6 foot easily.
Yeah, probably. You know, we hire, if it's a high voltage, you know, we have, usually Alliant comes in and does all those, you know.
And Gruen even does our lot.
Gruen does the other one. So, I mean, I don't remember the cost. What was the cost of Gruen doing it? We did what?
Was
We
it,
told our.
wasn't it like 1,200, or was it 900?
It wasn't much, we
It wasn't
had
much.
utilized him for
And
that.
it was like 15 polls in 10 years.
Yeah, you were there, that's right.
Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember myself.
I was like, wait a
I
minute,
mean,
yeah, I was
we
there.
did the quick math.
Yeah.
We should have the numbers in front of us, but we did the quick math and would take, for the few polls we do, you know, just to license and maintain and stuff like that, it doesn't make a lot of sense. In a
Yeah.
1978 truck that doesn't run. So we gotta get it running first, you know, and do that. So you know, put the money in to get it running again. We don't utilize it a lot. It doesn't make sense to keep it around for what it
Taking up
costs.
shed space.
Taking up shed space, all the above, you know, it just doesn't, if we're not using it, why keep it? You know, you can go back and forth, should we use it more? Well, we could, we gotta get running.
Gotta have things to use it for.
Yeah, and we do very minimal, you know, it's cheaper to hire it out than to keep and insure and maintain and everything else, I guess, to say it in a nutshell. You know, and it doesn't run.
Needs a fuel pump, which the cost of that was gonna be, what, 4,000 or 5,000?
Yeah, I don't remember, honestly, I don't remember. Again, we gotta keep running, you know, it's a 1970.
It's pretty hard to keep something that old running when you don't use it a lot. We don't have
Yep.
much to use it on, we're gonna keep it running.
I mean, it gets inspected every year, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna have more mechanical failure.
I think, you know, I think it's not worth putting money into, for one. It's an opposite, I shouldn't say it's not, the chassis is not worth the money to put anything into,
Yeah.
you know? So if we get to the point that we decide we should have it, you know, maybe, you know, and if we someday hire an electrician, you know, and do the other kind of things, we don't raise an electrician, we knew that going into it, that's not raised, you know, raised not the electrician, he's not the kind of guy to go up and do that kind of stuff. If we get to that point someday, we need to update that piece of equipment anyway, so I think it's a whole conversation at that point.
Whether or not in the future we need to buy it.
This one's not worth keeping.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So it would, yeah, it would free up it would free up space and just move on.
I feel like space is at a premium down there and they always asking for ways to get more and.
So do you think we should best offer, set a kind of starting price?
I think we should come up with a price, you know, if you guys can come up with a, look on Marketplace or something, not Marketplace, but, truck paper or something, and maybe
Yeah.
come up with it, or ask some utility what it's worth. Let's come up with a price, and then let's bring that back, and we'll just say, hey, yeah, let's start at this price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just have a closed bid on it and just get it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve selling the Digger Dairy.
Second,
Second.
and roll call please.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Bill Meyer?
Yes.
Lisa Buddy?
Yes.
Matt Anderson?
Okay, let's jump down to other business. Hosted server agreement update, Civic Systems, Castle. What do you got for that, Cheryl?
We got a call, or we got notified, Tom, Westhoff, our service rep for WPPI, said that, WPPI is not gonna be renewing its Citrix license, which is required for us, for them to, that's how we connect. They host our software, WPPI has hosted it for us since we've had, Civic Systems software. They've hosted us on their server for at least 10 to 15 years, and they never charged us for it. We're the only community that, only member that has them host it, and they're not gonna renew their license, this time. So we need to find another option, and, Civic Systems, who is our software supplier, they do hosting on the cloud. And since they are our software, they provided a cost of $300 a month on top of our support in order for them to do it. So our contract with WPPI runs out after March 26th. So, I've asked VC3, I don't know, I don't think they're having any luck coming up with any, they're our IT people, and they also manage our website, but reached out to see if there was any other options out there that they knew of. I haven't heard back that they found anything yet, so. I mean, we have time, still exploring other options, but it looks like we may have to start paying $300 extra a month to have our server hosted in order for us to have our software work.
Yeah, for what it is, I think that's a reasonable cost, and we've been lucky that WPPI has been,
Yeah.
you know, not charging us for it for that long.
Yeah. So, keep you posted if I find out any other options.
Yeah, I guess they, you know, I see what we can come up with and we'll go from there. Okay, town hall door replacement discussion. I had Cheryl throw this back on there, since we're back into we're into the new, budget year. We budgeted for this. I just kinda wanted to get it fresh back on kinda everybody's minds here. You know, while the weather's still halfway decent, if it works to do yet this year, great. If not, you know, maybe springtime or something, but, what did I see in the updates that you had met with?
Casey, Cassell Castle? Is that, I don't know.
Castle.
Castle, I knew that wasn't right, I got Cassell, Citrix, all that in my head. He at one time provided a quote of $3,600 for the door and, replacing it. He has since found another company that he has had luck with getting doors, that, they're the Amish or Mennonites group. So he got getting some more pricing from them.
Okay.
He did have one late on Friday, I didn't get it in the packet yet, of what they have. Biggest thing is that frame is going to need some work before they do anything, and they're not gonna know what's needed until they get in and actually do it.
Yeah.
So, I guess what we just basically.
No,
That's the thing too,
That's what
right?
we'll have to decide too, if we want, you know, full glass or half glass.
What color?
Yeah,
the ones that he, the quotes that the, Castle's doing, he said they just come white primed, so we would paint it any color we want, but it's a high quality door and he's had good luck with them. Ray thought a half glass would be more than enough, instead of going full glass, there's just less
Yeah.
chance for it to be broke or anything. And, then we need to kind of decide what color we want to do the entrance.
Yeah, cause we wanna kind of update all
Definitely
that.
aesthetics, that's why I wonder, you know, just a steel door, but do you want more glass and stuff? I mean, because you want it appealing, right?
Right,
Not just to do a standard thing over and over again.
right. Cause I know it's got the paneling and stuff on the inside, and we talked about, you know, doing something with that, and then, you know, like a new soffit with a new light, or a couple lights, or whatever, you know, up top. So I think now would be the time to do it all. So, and it's, like I said, nothing that we gotta decide tonight, but I just kinda wanted to get it back on everybody's radar and start thinking about it, or if you walk by there, you know, if you see something, you know, when you're out and about, and even in another town, you know, take a picture of it and, you know.
Did we talk about it one time, like asking, you know, like the holiday committee or something like that?
I did.
We did do that.
Right?
We did.
To-
Her only comment
to
was
maybe-
not full glass.
To maybe help us out.
I think it was. But they didn't want full glass.
They didn't really
because-
care for the full glass, and she said, yeah, definitely need a light, you know, a new light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fixture of some sort.
If we did go full glass, the only thought I had is, you know, have some sort of a shade or something.
Right.
So people can close it up and have privacy if they don't want.
And they're built right in it now, you don't have to, you know, they're built
Right,
in
yeah,
glass. and stuff.
right.
Just trying to think what could, you know, instead of us deciding what it is, but how can we involve the community, some, you know, some committee or something to help us out.
Right. Yeah, so like I said, just kinda keep it on everybody's radar and keep your kinda eyes peeled, for different things that you think might look good down there, or different, just, you know, different ideas. Like I said, it's nothing that we gotta decide here real soon, but, like I said, we budgeted for it for this year, so it'd be nice, you know, if it works to do yet this year, great, if not, I mean, we can always wait till the spring, or early next summer too, so. That's all for that, so. Council updates. There was a few different things in there.
I think we talked about most of them.
Yeah.
The parking lot bumpers were installed at Westside Park.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, they do look nice. The skid loader's in our possession, the guys have had their training on that, so. They met, I think, just last week, so. I think the rest of the stuff we kinda touched on, so. The aeration lines out at the lagoon have been put in, and they matched the quote, $24,000 that was approved at budget time, so. And then the sewer committee just met this evening with a issue on some drainage down on North Main, so
Yeah.
they're going to possibly make recommendations to get that cleaned up.
Yeah, so we met, just before the meeting there, and, Mike and Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy Miller and Mike.
Yeah, so they have a tube, their driveway kinda comes off the highway and kinda comes down, you know, that garage is underneath that house. So,
Which location?
right out here in North Main,
Miller's.
right, the last house on the
Yeah,
left,
Buck
there's
Miller's.
on the bridge there, so, they just have a little 6-inch tube, that ties into our, storm sewer. So they have an inlet that's kinda up, can be to the south, so that runs down, you know, through their driveway. They tie into that, and then it shoots diagonal across the highway, to the creek there. So they're just having, you know, with the rain we've been getting, they've been getting kinda some backup, and they've had some issues in the past, you know, where it's it's gotten, to the garage and stuff. So they're looking to either, replace that little pipe they have, that little drain, that ties into our storm sewer. They're looking to increase that. I think it's a 6-inch now. But then we got looking at the other side of the road, and it's pretty built up in there. It's a decent sized storm drain, it's probably 16-inch that comes out on the other side. But it's backed up, it's built up with sediment, and, you have those ground inlets where you're just getting everything all the time. So the guys, Eric and Tim were down there, we're gonna get that cleaned out as much as we can. And then if we need to, moving forward, if we need to get, when the jet company comes in the fall, if we need to get that jetted out, we might have to. So, before they start tearing into theirs, 'cause it's all concreted in, and
Do all that.
yeah, before they go and do all that on their end, we probably need to take care of it on our end first. So, so yeah, that's kind of how that got left. So, yeah, Eric will probably fill you in the morning, but yeah, they're gonna start by getting down there and cleaning that out, and then hopefully it should help, but we'll see if it completely solves the problem or not. So, we'll just see how far they can get it. I guess is the biggest thing. So.
One thing I added to your packet said it's not on the agenda to discuss, but I just wanted to make everyone aware. I had to send in before the next meeting, this is just, it's not saying who's running, it's saying whose seats are up. And just so all my records matches the Mary's records at the courthouse on who's up for election and, what term. So Adam, Matt, and Matt will all be up for a 4-year term, and Lisa will also need to be put on the ballot if she wants to finish out the term that was held by JT. So.
Weren't you just on the last election, Matt? No?
It was just me and Tyler, wasn't it?
Okay.
So that
So
was.
Lisa's would only be for 2 years? If she goes over, is it 4 years?
It would just be.
It would
It would just be the remainder 2 years.
You feel
Right.
JT's.
So she'd be up in 20, so there'd be, the bottom 3 would be up in 27,
Right.
and the top would be another 4 years, that's
Right.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then I also put in there the affidavit of candidacy, which you 3 will have to fill out if you choose to run. And it is the petition. We run by petition, so,
What's the date on that? It's like September, isn't it?
it opens August 23rd is the first time, the first of when you can take out papers. The deadline's the 18th of September.
So I was thinking it was like a 3-week window last time.
Yeah. And if anyone knows of anyone not running, that's helpful prior to, so we can either look for someone or, so to have someone on the ballot, as opposed to vacant.
I think that's important, hopefully we can get, community member to run. That's the, we have a bunch of options and
And
choices.
I will
Anybody's interested
probably
needs to,
put
Yeah.
something on Facebook and in the paper of,
for sure.
when we, to encourage it to, okay, this is who we have running, if you wish to run, here's the process, when the deadlines are,
Yep.
so.
I said, let's get that out there, sooner than later.
Yeah.
And encourage the community to get involved.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. No, that's a good thing to throw out there, so thanks for bringing that to everybody's attention. Okay, that's all I got. Shirley, you good?
I think that's it too.
Jan, you got anything? Okay. All right. Anybody else got anything for other business they want to throw out?
I was just gonna mention, when we were talking to Eric and Tim, they had mentioned that they were gonna meet with a couple people up by the
Oh,
Catholic
yeah.
Church about the ditch, I think Wednesday this week.
Well, Elvis was telling me about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll probably be hearing more about that here next meeting.
Have we looked into anything revolving around the sidewalk culvert on Horace
not that I know of, have we looked at anything? Okay. But maybe let's get that on our radar too, and see if we can have Eric or whoever meet.
Just to do the sidewalk?
Yeah, to do that sidewalk, and then I guess if we
Or
want.
cement out a little bit. to get
Yeah, if we
going
wanna
down,
make kind of a channel.
Just go out up the,
Yeah,
you know.
just to make sure it gets,
easy to clean out and stuff then.
Yeah.
Not reinventing the wheel, just putting a new sidewalk in that.
Right, if they wanna get with
Yep.
Quinn.
Does it
or-
channel out to the street or towards the
No, back to the.
back?
to the
Okay,
side.
so I was assuming.
Yeah.
And get a couple quotes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we got anything else? Okay, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second,
Second.
and roll call please.
Jill Meyer.
Yes.
Lisa